Oh no.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What's up? Once again, Dr. Phill coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. And we have myself, the resident Care Bear, and of course, Mr. Osama bin Nachos, the Rusty Chainsaw himself. And we're going to talk to you about a little Vega conflict, Vega craft, Vega Minecraft, Battle Pirates in space, War Commander in space, any other analogies you guys want to come up with is perfectly fine.
Oh, I've got one.
You've got one.
Farmcraft.
Farmcraft.
Fuck you, Will Harbin. Fuck you, Kixeye.
Yeah, that one too. Oh, okay. And that was a mic drop from Death by Nachos there. Fuck you, Will Harbin, and fuck you, Kixeye. Oh, that's brought the show into a fucking downhill spiral already. So, thanks for that one. And you derailed my entire fucking thing.
The show where everybody's so
Fucking
interested, even one of the hosts just drop off.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to address the Vega craft issue before I go off on a tirade and rant at somebody for 20 minutes. How are you finding the crafting thing at the moment?
I'm finding it extremely easy. It's going to be arduous and continuous and a lot of farming going on. And once you think you got all the parts and cores that you were looking for and get to craft that special Mach 3, Mach 2, guess what? You get to go out and do it again.
Yeah. Have you seen how many parts it takes for a fucking Mark II Dread? 2,000 plus. 2,000 fucking plus pieces.
Yep. And most of them, even the small ones, start out with 200 and 250 was the average. That's that's just the small ones. And right off the bat, yeah, I had enough of the small ones. I made quite a few small ones just to get in the habit of how to make them, how to use the golden ticket or the credits, however you want to call it. But yeah, I was looking at the bigger ones, the ones that I really want down the road. And, yeah.
The Mark II Dread, the Mark II Zeals, the good ones, not the fucking. What the hell am I going to do with a Mark II fucking Harrier? Come on. What kind of fucking bullshit is this?
Just say you got it.
I've got one already when it came out in the ridiculous fucking level 1 black market. That was the biggest fucking bunch of bull coming to fucking Vega. The black market was supposed to be the big daddy, the be all and end all of things, but no, it fucking failed. I do have a fucking a bone to pick with Kickshy. The classes and the specifics of each hull were supposed to be built around the fleets that you hit. The scouts were frigate pieces, the skirmishers were cruiser pieces, the sharpshooters were destroyer pieces, battalions were battleships. That doesn't mean shit. I went out earlier on and hit a 45. I got cruiser pieces. I've been out and hit sharpshooters and got cruiser pieces and eagle pieces. I've gone out since day one and farmed a bunch of shit. I got tier 1 crap. Can I get any of the tier 2 crap? I think I've got a grand total of 1 of the encoded pieces. Shitloads of Rebel parts and Vega parts and VSEC parts and all this parts. Can I get anything that I want? Can I fuck?
Well, it's going to be like the blueprints, but actually a little bit harder. Because if you look at those strong boxes, or actually look at a fleet that says it may contain in the strong box, may contain one of these 4 pieces, or it may contain one of these 4 parts, and not every one of them is going to have them. So, all right, say 1 out of 3 35s that you hit,
you get a
drop
box.
1. You get a box. All right, so that's 1 out of 3 fleets. You got 1 box that may contain 1 out of 8 parts or cores. So you do the division there. That's more like 1 out of 70 to 80. So that's a little harder than the drops.
It goes even higher than that. If you get a box, it could be 1 of 3 different boxes. So that's 3 fleets for 1 of 3 boxes for either 1 piece of this or something else, or a core, or a tier 2 core. And here's the kicker: if you go and hit a tier, say you're hitting the 30 pluses, so you're hitting tier 2, tier 3 stuff, you could open a tier 3 box and get a tier 1 piece of shit. And that's happened to me. It's happened to several people on different pages. And what's the fucking guarantee? If you hit a tier 2, you should get a tier 2. If you hit a tier 3, you should get a tier 3. If you hit a tier 4, you should get a tier 4. None of that is guaranteed, but it should be. And that's pissing me off.
So what you're saying is not only are you getting tier 2s, 1 out of 4
screwed.
cores, you're getting tier 1, 1 out of 4. So you're getting 1 out of 8 right there on just the tiers cores between 1 and 2. Now, if you're going to go for tier 3, are you getting tier 2 and tier 1? It hasn't happened to me yet. I saw
it's happened to me several fucking times. It's been in the forums. It's been on the BV page. It's been on the All Censored on the war rooms, and it's all over the shop. The thing is so fucking broken before it's even finished. It's unreal. And if I want to go and get any of the decent sized holes, I mean, yeah, it's been out a week. You're not supposed to do everything in a week. It's supposed to be, and here's the term that I hate the most when it's to do with KIXEYE. It's a progressive system. Progressive system to me means, oh yeah, we're going to make you wait for it. And we're going to make you wait for as long as we possibly can until you get so pissed off, you're just going to throw all your fleets at it and spend all the money that you've got in your wallet. Which I'm not doing. Which is plain and simple. I'm not doing. I'm sticking around to see what happens. That's it. Right now, in my crafting menu, I can craft a grand total of 1 Mark II Harrier and a Mark II Midgard. That is it. Out of all the parts that I have, I've got parts for the Eagle, I've got parts for cutters, I've got parts for dreads, I've got parts for seals. I've got parts for the Condor that I don't even own. Which leads me on to my next point. If you don't have a Condor, you can't do any of the Eagle upgrades. If you don't have a Dread, you can't do any of the Zeal upgrades. If you don't have the Scythe, if you don't go all the way to the 50s and go through the Scythe, you can't upgrade your Lance. So if you're missing vital pieces of event technology or vital pieces of blueprint technology, you can't progress. If you have Zeals but don't have Dreads, which was almost a case for me, I had the Zeal before I had the Dread. If I didn't go and get the Dread in one of the riots, for whatever fucking reason I went and got it, I wouldn't be able to make my Zeal upgrade. I don't have the Condor, so I won't be able to upgrade the Zeal that I went out and farmed the fucking blueprints for. There are people out there that have the Midgard and have a Ragnarok, thanks to the Chinese doing the little instant Jenny threats on the Corinthians and ruining the event for a lot of people, which is still the bane of existence, because people are still being punished for not having the Ragnarok, which is completely unfair. They've based the game based on the Ragnarok. It's a Ragnarok and 3 Dreads. It's a Ragnarok and 4 Zeals. It's a Ragnarok and 4 Cutters. It's a Ragnarok and something and something and something and something. And that's beginning to piss me off. Something chronic.
We should be coming up with a carrier killer soon. That's what I'm thinking.
If it's not already something to counterbalance something. So then it'll be the counterbalance versus the counterbalance. And it's going to end up in stalemates left, right, and center.
I did notice on all the ships buffs and that some of them will do X amount of damage for battleships, X amount of damage for cruisers. I have not seen one that will do X amount of damages for carriers in there.
The battleship classes will do damage to cruisers. Where's the other one? Longbows. No, not longbows. The destroyers will do X damage to cruisers. Cruisers will do excess damage to frigates. Frigates will do excess damage to destroyers, and so on and so forth. There's no actual carrier killer yet. No. Which means at some point there'll be another class of ship in the works that will go immediately into the crafting system. The only
carrier killer out there is another carrier. Now, maybe they should start adding buffs for the carriers against the carriers.
The only carrier killer that I know of is a set of Komodo cutters. Pythons are just too slow. Komodos are the way to go, or even maybe Gharials, but cutters seem to be the only way to counterbalance any of this fleet, and either side is going to end up with massive repairs, which isn't viable. The days of Gladnet Apox and Gladnet Raptures and the kiting days are gone. Yeah, you can kite the new fleets for a bit until you hit the battalions and get absolutely smashed by the 55s. You can't kite a 55. They're too fast. The machetes in the I don't think the machetes. I think they're the Mark V Lances with more mag than I've ever seen. They hurt. They really do hurt. I hit one on day one and got absolutely battered by it, which puts me back even further down the repair line. I've only just yesterday got all of my fleets repaired from the event last week. That's how far I was behind, because I stopped coining, ironically, and I'm one of the biggest coiners that I know of, other than the top guys. But I did love to coin the game. I love to play the game. At the moment, I'm barely spending about an hour a day in there. Maybe a little bit more since I moved along, but it's not a viable option, and it's gonna kill the game faster than it was before this crafting system came in. Because a lot of people are gonna get pissed off. They're not getting what they want, and they're just gonna leave. Unless there's the ability.
And I think we lost connection with Doc. So, well, here he comes back. Well, I think it's going to bring more and more fighting in the sector itself. We have everybody going to be just getting sick and tired of fighting elbow to elbow for 30s, 35s, and that. But I also see us all becoming a bunch of farmers. We're, like I said, you're going to go out and get the cores, and you're going to go back out and get more cores. And you're going to build another Mach 2, Mach 3, then you're going to have to go get more cores. And a lot of us, we didn't have to do the Vegas, and a lot of our fighting were FEF and going to bases. Hey, he's back.
I do apologize. I hope we're still broadcasting. If we're not, this is going to go really, really badly, and we're just going to talk bollocks for the next 10 minutes.
No, we're still live. The little button's still up there, so we're still good. But yeah,
I don't know what the fuck happened. My internet took a shit on me.
I was just saying that I really see a lot more in space FBF fighting, which I think that's a good thing, because I was saying the other day I don't see that. People are and they're just going to start getting greedy and say, no, we don't like you. You can't get them over here. And I said,
yeah,
it hasn't started yet, but I expect it to start pretty soon, because you get a core, you build your ship, you got to go get another core. And
I think, right, I'm going to kill that just in case.
And you're going to want to, and you got a 1 in 8, a 1 in 12 chance out of 1 in 3 of getting a core that you want. Maybe. So that's
if you've got cores, you're looking for patterns. If you've got patterns, you're looking for parts. If you've got parts, you're looking for the stupid rebel armaments.
I can get the here, let me go in my back, see what the hell I'm talking about before I say it wrong.
It's one thing after another. They're gonna make you search for useless shit that you're not gonna use for most of the time.
Yeah, armaments. That's the word I was looking for. You can get the armaments and you get the core at one drop together. You pretty much are always going to get armaments, except for 1 out of 5 you won't get one.
Yeah.
But what is it, 17 on the 30s to 35s you get?
This is now going to encourage Kickside to do events and only ever bring out half a hull. It's like the machete. I badmouth that machete, and I will continue to badmouth that machete, because it is a useless piece of shit. And then Lex came out on the show and said, "Oh, when the machete reaches tier 3 or whatever tier he said it was, I think it was tier 3, it will get a shield slot." That to me says what they've done is cut out half the content and then tried to sell it you back. It's like companies that cut out pieces of a game and then try and sell you the piece that they cut out days later or weeks later or months later. By all means, if it's already finished and you want to make additions to that, like the APOCs are, the APOC is a whole by itself, and the next upgrades is to Mark 2, Mark 3, Mark 4, Mark 5. By all means, that's fine. Don't put out a hole that you're going to make half of it and then make people pay for an upgrade or make people go farm for it or the usual shit. Because it makes people fucking lazy. It makes coding lazy. It makes developers lazy. And it looks bad on the company. It kicks eye on exactly in everybody's good books at the moment anyway, with the new system. Some people like it. Some people don't. I personally think it's fucking useless. And like I said on Thursday night, it's all down to the fucking Mr. Butt Pirate, Mr. Paul Priest, and he can go fuck himself.
I actually do not see the machete in the hull upgrade.
It is not in the hull upgrade. The Iron Star isn't in there yet, but it will be when Lex posted the "It's Get Crafty" thing. The Iron Star will come at some point in a later release. And
that's when Tier 4 and 5 is going to be released too.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what I'm assuming.
It's a tinfoil hat moment.
It's a kick's eye later.
Hashtag soon. Hashtag fuck off. Because that's all I've got on this one, I'm afraid. the crafting system, as usual with Kixeye, it's good in principle, bad in practice. It is far too overly complicated. There's no way to selectively bring out the things that you want. You can't go and selectively go after a parts box. You can't selectively go after a pattern. You can't selectively go after the cores.
No, you're going to have a 1 in 12, 1 in 3 chance.
It goes from 1 in 3, and then 3 into 8, this is 1 in 24, and then it goes even higher than that when you want something specific.
Right, because then you got another 4, then you got Tier 2, Tier 1, there's 4 more right there.
And then Tier 3 is another, and then Tier 4 is another. So you could go up to being a 1 in 150 chance of getting something you actually want.
Right, which is a little worse than the drop. So...
Now they did this in a different game. There's something they called the Crypt Arc in Destiny, which did very similar to what is happening now. Which Bungie, thank you, they fixed that. If you got 1 drop, you were guaranteed a drop of that specific color. If it was a purple, you'd get a purple. If it was a blue, you get a blue. If it was a green, you get a green or higher. They fixed that and they sorted that out. Now, what I want to know is, a Kixeye going to actually go and fix this? So if you hit a Tier 4 box, you're guaranteed a Tier 4 prize. If you hit a Tier 3 box, you're at least guaranteed a Tier 3 prize, and so on and so forth. And increasing the pattern drops is something that needs to be addressed. I've hit so many boxes. I mean, I hit 4. I purposely went out and hit 10 of each tier to get 10 of each box, and I opened them. I got 1 pattern box out of 40. 1 out of 40. That is ridiculous. It is absolutely fucking ridiculous. And that needs to be addressed. And again, another thing that I think needs to be addressed is now the res balancing problem. I can go out, hit Vega 50s, bring back helium. Helium's great. I love helium. It builds me my shit. Now we're back to needing mineral ore again. So are they going to go out and rebalance the Vegas? Are they going to up the fucking payouts in these stupid new fleets so I can actually have a full stock of res again? Because
that's always going to be a ballast.
Farming bases nowadays is ridiculous. unless you're part of a giant clan and go farm bases all the time, which I don't. I used to, but I don't see the fun in going to drain somebody of 100 million res and spending 4 hours doing it and trying not to get caught. There's just no fun in it for me. There's no fun in constant PvE grind fest. It's not fun. It's not fun.
Alex was talking about bringing some in-game games to this, like a personal fighting arena. Think that'll add more fun?
It may do if they can address the repair costs. Because if going FVF can be very, very expensive, very, very quickly. I mean, I've blown $50 in a night easily with fleet versus fleeting people, cutters and dreads and seals and meter mating. Even meter mating is expensive now. Because there is some little cocknose who's put a fucking low armored carrier in there just to stop you from meter mating them.
Now, what if they had tiers like a ladder system? People could get on it if your FBF percentage is higher than everybody else's. You move up, but you can't move all the way to the top until you beat somebody in that tier. That
would do it. That would do it, and that's so painfully close to the Forsaken Arena in Battle Pirates. So painfully close. But Vega's been screaming for that since it started.
Well, again, I knew when I first started this game way back when that it was going to be a monotonous, tedious game and long dragged out if I wanted to. Yeah, as all. But again, when you find a game that you like, then you want to invest the time in it. And that, again, for me, it was this game over the other ones. I tried all sorts of other games, but I like this one mostly because of the community. You know?
It's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this now. The most of the Battle Vortex guys, and I mean, yeah, I jumped shit as well. I moved over to playing a different game that I won't mention, Elite, and most of us moved over there to play that because it's cheap. You don't spend money. You got your one-time fee. That's it.
Yeah, I did that with Minecraft too.
Yeah, exactly. But Minecraft. Crafting. There we go. There's another crafting joke.
See? That's why it's coming so easy to me because, at least I don't have to dig for the diamonds. I don't have to come up with potions of healing and any of that good stuff. I just got to go find the parts.
You got a potion of healing. It's called your credit card.
No, the old lady won't let me use that potion. That's a potion of not getting done for about a month. So. So yeah, by the way, if I sound funny, it's because I got a cold. My old lady gave it to me. Oh. Thank you, dear.
Fuck off.
She just went ha ha in the background.
Oh yeah, I know the feeling.
But again, I like the community. I like the game. I knew it was going to be a grind the whole time I've been playing it, but then it gets more and more complicated, and then it's a little bit more intricate bit by bit.
When it requires me to get a headache to think about things or to start crunching numbers, it's ridiculous. I can throw a fleet together. It works or it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, you look at it, you see what needs to be changed, how fast it got killed, you make the adjustments, you refit, you go back out, you do it again. You either get killed or you don't. I don't need to sit for hours and hours and hours on end like I used to do when I used to play Battle Pirates. New shit would come out and I would spend 2, 3, 4, 5 hours coming up with intricate builds to figure out how I'd take less damage if I'm hitting this base and to do this base and to do this arena and to do this mission and blah, 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 all the way down the road. 3 months later, I'd get the fleet finished. 2 weeks later, the fleet would be fucking obsolete.
I got a question. Do you see this game down the road becoming more a bunch of farmers just running around getting what they can get, finding cores and stuff? Or do you see them more like getting possessive about their little areas where they are and trying to shut out others more? than they are.
It's almost like that now. I mean, obviously, I'm sat with you and your guys at the moment, and I had a moment like that earlier on. It's every time I'd see a specific fleet that I wanted to go after, and I'd launch my fleet, and by the time I'd got there, some little cocksucker had already taken it. Or I'd see another fleet, and I'd be going towards it, and I'd see another guy come across the map, and it's, if you take that, I'm gonna fucking kill you, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's what overcrowding does. I see as far as me and our little group happening is as we realize how much farming we're going to have to do and spend time out there getting these Vegas to get these points, cores, pattern, whatever. As we're out there, we're going to get more possessive. And if you're not one of our friends, we're just going to tell you, yeah, no, go away or just go play Candy Crush for a week and move when you can. Because we're not going to. That's the way I see it with us. Others, I don't. Again, so some of the bigger groups, I can see them doing the infighting too, because that you run into the same thing with your own guys. You're going out there, you're getting mad at your own guys because they're still getting in your way too. It's like, but I can't hit him. He's my buddy. Damn it.
The latest number I've seen now is 18.5 million user IDs. 18.5 million. That means 18.5 separate players or separate instances of players. Some people have multiple alts, some people don't. So at least 3/4 of that is a player base, and the other 25% are all people's alts. So that's what I'm going to work out in a way. That's about 15 million people have got a base in Vega. Some are cold, some aren't. So we'll probably cut that in half to about 8 million.
That's not true. Is that true? What happens is that those are all the players that have made a base, but there's a lot of those that are gone.
Yeah, there are a lot of those that are gone.
Right off the beginning, I give you stats on new gamers staying. 25% will not stay more than 2 days. Another 25% will be gone within 2 weeks. That leaves half, and out of that half of those will be there a month later. Yeah, and then it keeps going down as time goes. But if they stay for that first month, they usually stay in for quite a while. Trust me, I've handled a lot of newbies coming in and out.
Yeah.
So the stats.
I've been around a while. I mean, when I started, the highest ID I saw was about 9 million. When I actually went to start playing the game properly. I mean, I had a beta account and I fucking couldn't stand it. My map base was about cold and level 15 for about 2 years. I mean, I only started playing it around this time last year properly, thanks to Mr. Fear, who was streaming the brand new VSECs at the time that were going to be permanent in the game. I don't see 3 days out of 2 weeks permanent, and I don't like being drip fed. Have it in a specific launch pattern. That when the VSECs were doing the first VSEC weekends, they were spawning like clockwork. They'd be like little hashes across the sector. You could go and sit in the middle, go farm all the VSECs that you wanted. Now I could sit in the wormhole, wait 3 hours, and not get one fucking fleet that I actually want to go and hit. And if I get the fleet that I want to go and hit, some other dickhead comes along and takes it first.
I'm sorry. Oh, that wasn't me that time.
No, that wasn't you. if it was you, we wouldn't be having this conversation. It grinds my gears something chronic, some of the shit that Kicks I do. I mean, Nathan, I think it's Dayspring, I think he's a GOAT guy, brought up a good point earlier on today or yesterday. I don't know which post it was on, but it was on a post, and he mentioned the black market. All of the stuff that we're getting now was originally supposed to go in the black market. So what did they do? Did they break it? As far as I'm aware, the black market isn't going anywhere. It's just going to get crammed full of the resistance tech that's only available in the black market that you can't craft.
And that's one thing I got to grumble about, though. Usually I don't go about nothing, but I have not seen the black market in, it's got to be a week now.
I haven't seen the black market since the event ended. In fact, I don't think I saw it a week. And when that guy, what was his fucking name?
Said he was arrested. When was that?
Laris was arrested. I think that was a week before the event started, or 3 or 4 days or something like that. And nobody has seen hide nor fucking hair of Laris ever since. So did he get arrested? Were we being bullshitted? Were we? Well, we all know it's a story arc, so it's whatever kicks I want it to be.
Are we stuck with the blood ammo we got now? Because pretty much everybody I know has.
I have 200. I assume you have 200. A bunch of people that I know have 200.
And I incidentally did another blood amber after being full, but I didn't collect it because I had never been to this point before, but never collected it. 24 hours later, even though I had earned it, it was gone.
It's gone. If you don't collect it, it disappears. Which is crap. I mean, yeah, it stops people from stockpiling the stuff. Which if you have a mission, you shouldn't be able to get a new one until you've collected the other one. So that one mission should stay there. So in theory, you could have a maximum of 200 and have 20 on standby. That should be the norm. But it's not. If you do the mission and don't collect the blood amber's gone.
Well, I wasn't even trying to finish the mission. I just had to go to another sector, beat on somebody's base, and come back. And I didn't even know that was my mission because I already knew I was full. I didn't even check. And all of a sudden it was bing, collect.
Yeah, you've got 20 blood amber that's going to be ejected into space. But there's nothing to spend it on. I mean, when the black market first came out, everyone jumped all over it. A couple of weeks in, the proper Mark II holes came in, the Venom and the Trident, and then the Rev Mark II dropped. And I clambered over the Mark II the Mark II Rev. Everyone I know clambered over the Mark II Rev.
Pretty much the only thing that you can get in the blood market anyhow now, or the black market, the black market now anyhow that you cannot craft yourself is going to be the engines and shields and that.
The pieces, the special slots and weapons, and we were promised empty hulls. We were promised strong boxes with mystery stuff. We were promised blueprint parts. We were promised event.
I got that.
Oh, I've got blueprints and I got bits of stuff that were there that I just picked up because they were there. Glad 3s that I don't have yet. A bunch of other crap that I don't use. I mean, I think I've got like 6 different shield Shock 4s just because they were there, and I use Shock 4 fairly often, either Shock 4 or Spec 5 like a normal person would, and I picked them up because they were there. Just to spend the amber. But now with the crafting system, the Mark II holes go straight out of the wall. You can't just go in and pick up a piece and then leave and go farm more blood amber, come back in a week and do it again. Whoever is there we go. Earthy's sharing that.
Yeah, I got lots of surprise boxes.
Open up some of those boxes just to see what crap you're going to get dropped.
Well, I was actually, for the tier 3s, I went out to a half hour and I got all these from here up. Now, what I was looking for was a tier 3 Hawk core.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see if I got that. Start with that.
You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, what? 6 boxes there?
Yep.
So you should get one. You got, that's a battleship. Tier 1 core. That's a tier 1
tier
core.
1. And it just happened to be. Yeah, I saw it live in a tier 3 core box. All right. That don't make sense to me either. So we're going to open up the next one. What do we got in here?
Let's have a look. So that's a tier 2 core.
Tier 2 core?
From a tier 3 box. This is how stupid kicks I are.
We're doing this live. I collected it.
You got yourself a frigate core from that's a tier 1 frigate core from a tier 3 box. Even though it says you should get a tier 3 core from a tier 3 box, you got a tier 1 or tier 2.
Hey, frigate.
So out of what 4 or 5 that you just did?
Right.
You got what?
Four so far. I got one tier 3 frigate core. And we haven't even got to the parts yet. I still got to get the parts for it.
This is the stupid thing. Tier 3 carrier cores. So out of 5, you've got 2 of the tier 3s.
And a tier 1 destroyer.
So 1 in 3. That's 1 in 3.
Out of 3 tiers.
That is stupid.
This is a tier 1 core. What do you think I'm going to get in here? Do I going to find a tier 3?
I don't think so.
That logic, I should.
But logic dictates that you should, but you won't.
Another
it doesn't.
core.
Exactly. So, it's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. I mean, have you got some patterns or some parts up on the top there?
Oh, fusion as far as what I still have to fuse. I got a lot of things I got to do yet, but I got to wait till my workshop does its final upgrade.
That's the thing. You've got that carrier. You've got the carrier there, but it requires the pattern to split into the core. Do you lose the pattern when you split into the core? You probably will.
Right, because I will need 1 pattern. I'm going to need 10 parts. I do have those.
And then 256 of the little Vega armament things.
And that's we got the mid guard. Now what I can build. Ooh, look what I can build. There we go. I could get a gen.
A Mark II Jenny. You can get from the Blood Amber store from Laris, who's currently in jail, for 20 Blood Amber.
I can get 2 Harriers.
Oh, that's 15. That's 30 Blood Amber. So you might be able to spend some stuff here.
Oh, and I could build 3 ranks.
Oh my word! Even I can't even build any fucking ranks because I've got none of the parts for it. The patterns. It's the patterns. I've got shitloads of the other stuff. I've got cores. I've got parts. I've got armaments. Can I get any of the patterns? No. Patterns just do not want to drop from me at all. I've got a tier 3 Eagle pattern that I can't use because I don't have the Condor. I've got a tier 3 Lance pattern that I can't use because I don't have the scythe. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that?
I spent 30 to 40 minutes to get in all those tier 3 cores and patterns, and I was looking for the Nighthawk and didn't get it. So let's see. I'm guessing maybe 6 more tries like that. I might get 1.
Yeah.
And I'd like to build a fleet of those. So we're looking at light guess would be 10 trips of a half hour each. And roughly it was a dozen fleets to get what I got. Not more, about 15 fleets. So I'm looking at 10 to 150 more fleets to build 6 Hawks, maybe.
Just to get what you wanted.
The Mach 3 Hawks.
So we got every 20 minutes a Vega will spawn on each system. So you've got 5 shots. 4 by 5, 20. You got 4 shots in 100 to get anything.
Right. That's not just me. That's every member of my alliance, every member of the alliance next door, the one across the street, the neighbors down the ghetto. Everybody wants.
You are gonna have to fight a bunch of people to try and get a slim pickings. And some people will sit out there and wait, and some people will try and jump on somebody or try and jump in on a half-dead fleet, which I watched earlier. I watched one guy get absolutely smashed, and then I went and stole his fleet because he couldn't finish it.
So if you're the type that's going to move into a sector and be like a Lone Ranger and just out to harass everybody, it's not going to go well for you, is it? I don't see it.
No, it won't work that way because you're going to get jumped on by just about everybody. Oh, that guy's running around. That guy's running around killing everybody. Well, let's go smash his base for 2 weeks or 7 days or however long he's going to stick up with getting beaten on by just about everybody in the sector. I mean, it's going to kill me to say this. Care bearing is probably the safest way to do shit now. It really is. I mean, the ICU guys, the GOAT guys, the guys in the top 10, top 20 even, are going to struggle if they can't get out and farm stuff. They can go and hit fleets and spend a coin to go and get it. They will go and get it because I know them, and that's what they do. They will go and coin the crap out of everything just to get ahead. Which is if that's the way they play, then that's the way they play. That's of no qualms to me. I play the way I play. You play the way you play. Every other player in the game plays their own way.
Well, a lot of the bigger players you also know that don't need to go out and farm for the res. Like me, I'm not saying I'm one of the biggest ones out there, but me, I don't have a problem going out there getting res daily and filling my tanks up daily just from hitting bases around, you know.
Exactly.
And that's what the big players do too. They're not going to go out there farming. Well, now they got to do farming, and like me, they're going to have to go like, fuck, I got to go out there with the common people.
Exactly. I mean, you can get into a giant war with somebody and then realize you've got no res. You've got no res because you haven't gone and farmed anything. And if you've got no bases nearby because they've all emptied out because they're all doing the new farming, this new crafting bullshit, and used all of the 208 million in minerals or however much that they carry, it's going to make life extremely difficult. I mean, personally, in my own opinion, the newer guys that are coming into the game now have it better than most of us because they're coming in and they're learning the system straight away. We've been here for this long, and we're made to learn this thing, this new system. So we're not getting the parts straight away. We're not getting it on day one. We're not getting the instant upgrades. We're not going out to farm the 40s and the 45s again to get your split difference. Because the split difference is what makes this actually work. Unless the higher VSECs or the higher tier skirmishers, rebel scouts, frigate bollocks, and all the other crap that goes with it, unless the res payouts are a lot higher than they actually are right now, then it's going to go stagnant. Unless you're relying on multiple players to open cargoes and say, "Oh, is this free cargo? Yes, it is," or "No, it isn't." Or if you take it, you're going to get whacked by everybody.
So me myself, I see all this. Okay, maybe harder and maybe meticulous, maybe a pain in the neck and give a lot of people headaches. But I see it as a good thing because it's going to get a lot of people fighting, and that's half the fun. I don't like watching people farm. I've actually had, I've had a lot of people I've hit over and over and over. Do they fight back? No.
If they don't fight back, then they go back to, they usually get added to my list and then get farmed the crap out of.
A lot of us like just the battle, that little excitement. It's like, is he going to come and get me? Is he going to fight back? But
maybe not.
If y'all turn into farmers, I'll be a base farmer still, but
this will be the second generation of Vega, and it's going to be farming. It's going to be farming. It's going to become the next PvE thing. PvE became the thing in War Commander. It became the thing in Battle Pirates. And if you couldn't farm and you couldn't complete your mission or you couldn't complete your shadow ops, you fell behind. And this is what I don't like. With Vega, I could go and do an event and then do the next event with the same set of fleets and do 2 or 3 events with the same fleet and not have a problem. And then make my own choices on what fleets I wanted to build. If I wanted to build Zeals, if I wanted to build a destroyer fleet, if I wanted to build X amount of God knows what else I wanted, I could go and make the choice and do that. Now I feel that if I don't go and farm these new fleets and don't get parts, I'm going to drop back. It's what Strider said during that fucking gut-wrenching speech of his that nearly brought a tear to my eye. It really did, because he didn't get the Ragnarok. Neither did Highlander. And I play with both of those guys. We play Elite Dangerous together. We played Vega together. and the both of them were punished severely, or it feels like they've been punished severely because they can't do what I can do with the Ragnarok, because I persevered that event, and I sat there and just about beat on every little tiny fleet that I could find. I even went and coined a level 25 Echo 1 Rancor with an arrestor on it, just to go and beat on these little Jenny bastards that would sit by the wormhole and farm that Corinthian. Because it would screw everything up. If you've got one ship missing for a fleet, it changes the entire direction of the AI. We always look for the full fleets. The 60s in the last event, and this is what ground me up something rotten, is I spent the first couple of hours doing the 60s. I got it was a third of the way in. I got to 500,000. I said, well, I did that for free. I'll go and stick my fleet on repair. It'll be done in about 6 or 7 hours. I can go and do it again when I get up in the morning. Go and hit a couple of fleets, stick my fleet back on repair, go to work, come home, do it again, and be done. I got up the next morning, hit a 60, and died instantly. I tried to fly it exactly the same way as I flew it before. No, the support ticket I got back from Kixeye said nothing changed during the event. That is a lie.
Well, now I did notice that this event, the AI was changed up a little bit. Normally, if you come up with a good pattern and you do it exactly the same way, and you're in the same spots when you take off and everything else, those ships stay where they were. It would follow a preset pattern that you recognize. I found that this one here, that once in a while, one of the ships would just not go where it went every time. All of a sudden, it would just go in a totally different direction.
Which would change the nature of the AI.
Which you could see in my last video. It would change up, and I would have to fly a different pattern. I still persevered through it, but I didn't assume that it was going to just go like this. So I watched it, and I eventually, through trial and error, ended up figuring out how to do the weaving. I guess it's the best way you could say you could run that fleet.
It was bob and weave.
But because of that one ship going errant, it did throw off the AI a little bit, which I did like, because I every time I come up, and I don't know if it's true with you, because I copied a couple years, so I get it's true with you. When I come up with a good pattern, I've noticed people start watching me. Then I see they're out doing the same exact pattern, but they didn't go through the trial and error to get there that I did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just took my patterns. Oh, hey, that works good. I'm going to do that too. You know, it's like, now this one here, if they could follow all the bobbing and weaving that I did, good. They could copy me. That's fine. You know, if they could figure it all out. But again, if you couldn't figure out how to do the bobbing and weaving, you were taking a lot of damage on this one that you shouldn't have unless you really knew how to fly, like some of us have learned to.
Yeah.
So that's why I liked it.
I got a lot of my flying patterns from Lycan and from Nachos and from Strider and a couple of the other guys we ran with at the time back in the RTTC days before that went to the wall. But that's a story for another day. A lot of the old players would kite that sort of thing, and I would sit and I would watch before I would go and hit something. Nowadays, it's complete guesswork what you're going to get when you hit something. There used to be the fleet layouts. The fleet layouts would get posted. You'd have 2 Eagles, 2 Zeals, 2 Lances, and 2 Corinthians. There you go. You've got your fleet set up. You can go and work out whatever you want to, and so on and so forth. From that, now it's sort of that you get thrown in at the deep end, which, yeah, it's an event. You're supposed to be thrown in at the deep end, so you go and watch somebody else die first.
I just noticed El Jefe Blanco Chocolate is here.
Yes, Mr. Fear. Hello, Mr. Fear.
Nachos for president.
Nachos for president, yeah.
Nacho president. So how you like the game going so far?
Oh, me?
When was the last time you logged in?
I think it's really awesome, but I haven't logged in a long time, so
Yeah, don't log in.
I'm not going to because my head will probably explode.
It does. This thing. You can sit there and look at it, and it'll just give you a headache.
Yeah, no, I just got done collecting, like 25 million credits for thing, so I'm good.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
Nacho did that right at the beginning.
Yeah,
Yep.
I knew. Yeah, he's still talking about it. So
Yeah, I assumed as much.
yeah.
I'll go and
We're
accost
wondering
it
if
for
you
that
guys
one
are
when we
done
finish.
yet. Are you done yet?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
we're in the wrap
Well,
up stage.
we miss you. So just leave it let you know.
I had to do this one semi sober, so.
Oh, they sent El Jefe looking for you. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying. Okay. Well,
If
you
they
guys have a
if
good
they
show.
sent you, then I'm being summoned. So
You are basically.
I think it's
But
time to wrap up.
have a good wrap up party show, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Take it
Later,
easy, guys. Oh dear.
They need you for Farmville, I see. Okay.
This one's. I happen to like this kind of farm. It's Farmville with bigger explosions, and I don't have to spend any money if my ship gets killed. Shots fired. But yeah.
We all play different games. There's other games I play too. It's not just Vega Conflict, but
Oh no.
it's the one that I've been playing the longest. I put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, the most advice that I would give to somebody at the moment trying to hit these fleets, go watch somebody else have a crack at it. If you can replicate it, then replicate it. If you can't and you find your own way, let people know. I mean, I mean, myself, and I'm sure you would be more than happy to put videos out on hitting certain fleets. If there are guys watching this broadcast, which I think we've had like maybe 4 viewers at the most, then by all means, put videos out. Let people know how you do it. Let people know what you get. Mate, it's getting anything out of this now is going to be an arduous task. Increasing any Mark 2s, Mark 3s, 4s, 5s. I mean, yeah, you can only get Mark 3s at the moment, but at some point there are going to be Mark 4s and Mark 5s where you're going to have to go and farm thousands of these little fucking pieces to go and get anything from them. At the end of the day, getting 40 or 50 parts for a 40 hull or a 45 or a 50 or a 55 is fucking stupid. Because if it requires 2,400 pieces to get a fucking Dread Battleship Mark II, 40 pieces of pop, that's 80 fucking fleets. In fact, I think it's even higher than that. No, 80. I think my math is right at 80. That's 80 fleets of that specific tier. And no parts are guaranteed, no boxes are guaranteed. So either way, whether you're farming it or not, you may have to do 80 fleets. You may have to do 100 fleets. They even have to do 180 fleets just to get one piece of something and then go out and do it all again.
To get that final core, to do that final build, to get that final credit to do your to upgrade your ship to a Mach 3. Yeah, 180 fleets just for that one, and not counting the other ones either. But
yeah, because you have to take it to Mark II first, then you got to take it to Mark 3. So that you double that, so you do 300 fleets or you do 400 fleets to get twice the fucking thing to have to go to repeat the process for the next ship you want to do.
Wait a minute, you mean I can only use my? No, I think you're wrong on that. I think it can take my Mach 3 credit and change any. Like say I had a Mach 3 EXO. And I had a regular EXO in my bay. I think I could take that Mach 3 and just upgrade that EXO from Mach 1 to that Mach 3.
Well, when I ever get around to actually finishing a fucking Mark 3 piece, I'll let you know. Or if you get around to finishing a Mark 3 piece before I do, you let me know.
Oh, wait till you see my fleet of 2016 for Christmas.
6 Mark 3 Jennies.
I was thinking more like 6 Mach 4 dreads, but
Mark 4 dreads. Holy shit!
that's all I need.
That's a 40-day build. So yeah, you'll probably be done by about Christmas.
Yeah, see?
In fact, you'd be done about Boxing Day. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to the end now. So if you're sitting around and you stay till the end, thank you and go fuck yourself.
Get the fuck out of here. We're done. You
Like
gotta go play Candy Crush.
Don't subscribe. This isn't BV Talk Live, so I don't really give a shit. This is my personal channel. So as always, I'm Dr. Phil. If you don't like it, go fuck yourself.
And this is Earth, and I'm always guilty.
And we are out of here.